Doctor Strange, master of the mystic arts.
The conquest of Kaloo.
Hell hath no fury like a sorcerer scorned. The evil Kaloo, primordial enemy of both the Ancient One and his disciple, Doctor Strange, thought that he had vanquished his two necromantic nemesises with one powerful spell.
But now, with a cry of anguished rage, he discovers, "They are gone, vanished. If I do not find and destroy them quickly, they may prepare a counterattack, which could mean my ultimate downfall." But no, it cannot, it shall not. My thirst for vengeance has gone unslacked for 5 centuries. It will be denied no longer. And may the dreadful demons of Darnak rent the duplex next door if you missed our dramatic duel last Ish spell. Happy Stan. Gloriously edited by Stan Lee. Graniloquently scripted by Roy Thomas. Gorgeously drawn by Wild Bill Everett. Grudgingly lettered by Artie Simek.
Then, in the grip of a monumental frenzy, the thwarted wizard storms through the Greenwich Village sanctum sanctorum of Doctor Strange.
The fools may have escaped physically, but I can feel they are still in spiritual contact with this very room. But how can they be? If I can fathom that, I shall know how to destroy them. And suddenly, as if warned by some inexplicable psychic sense, Kaloo whirls. Those brightly glowing candles, I do not recall their being lighted when first I entered this chamber. Could it be that they are, in some way, linked to the Ancient One and his accursed protégé? Of course, that is the answer I have been seeking. For it is written in the Book of the Vishanti that a burning candle may light a skilled sorcerer's way into the past. Personally, we learned it while paging perfunctorily through Strange Tales number 124, Archivist Stan. If that be so, then my 2 vanished foes are doomed. I have but to extinguish these flimsy candles. What? They resist my efforts to blow them out. Then, by the venomous vipers of Valtor, I shall strike them out with my own hand. But again I fail. Some unseen mystic barrier shields them from my physical attack. That is the final proof. It is the candles and they alone which form my enemy's sole link with existence. My task, then, is a simple one. Even the Ancient One's magic shield will not be sufficient to resist a spell which I learned during my long exile in the dimension of Ragador. And when the shield falls, the candles dim. Then the Ancient One and Doctor Strange shall exist no more.
Meanwhile, even as the confident Kaloo prepares to hurl his potent spell, 2 fugitive forms drift through the void between present and past.
By plunging into the currents of time, we have temporarily eluded our foe. But soon he may discover our stratagem. Then our only hope is to recover the sacred book of the Vishanti, stolen from us by your eternal foe. True, disciple. And as the supreme irony, it is Kaloo himself who may have given us our chance for survival. For if he had kept the sacred tome, which contains all spells of defensive magic, our cause would be hopeless. Instead, my psychic insight tells me that he hurled it back in time to the day and place of its origin. Knowing this, we may yet defeat him. Yes, for not even Kalu knows the mightiest use of the Book of the Vishanti.
But enough of that for now. We approach the time-space continuum of ancient Babylonia. It is there that the book which we seek was created, millennium,
and it is there that we shall find it now. The Ancient One is courage incarnate. Still, I know he is weak from our battle with Kalu, which brought him to the brink of death. And if he should die, then nothing could halt Kalu. But wait. Master, there, on that craggy cliff, is the Book of the Vishanti, and behold, look who guards it. It is the sacred griffin, the beast appointed by the priests of the Babylonian god Marduk to stand eternal vigil over the mystic text. It has ever been written in words of flame that he who defeats that fearsome sentinel is the destined possessor of the book.
Once before, many decades ago, I rode the time stream back to this very moment to wrest from the griffin its guarded prize.
But now you are weighted down with fatigue, venerated one. Let me deal with this creature which bars our way. The next instant, to the surprise of the master magician, I have hurled my most potent spell yet. The griffin is merely enraged. How can it be that the same mystic energies which won you the book now fail to work for me? Ah, I think I begin to comprehend, my son. Since it was I who first defeated the beast to gain the sacred volume, it is only I who can ever do so. Were you to cast magic spells till doomsday, you would never overcome that fierce guardian. Therefore, stand you back while I duplicate a feat performed centuries before your birth. Be careful, master, I beg you. You are yet weakened. There is no time for delay. With each passing second, Kalu may discover our purpose and seek to thwart us. Then, as Dr. Strange's aged mentor makes a mysterious gesture, by the crimson bands of Sitarak, by the shadowy shades of the seraphim, I command thee, begone. Your premonition was correct, master. The awesome beast fades from view.
Yes, faithful one. I banished it to a place beyond time, just as I did many years ago.
And, with the dread guardian thus defeated, the way lies open to the omnipotent Book of the Vishanti. Even now, the dimensional gateway to the book opens before our eyes. Then, as a glowing globe of enchanted light grows ever larger, the two sorcerers plummet into it. Master, what if the evil Kalu has somehow learned the one most guarded secret of the sacred book? That cannot be, disciple, for it is the sole magical defense not written on its hallowed pages. Even I learned of it only by chance, after countless years of poring over the text. Suddenly, as the Ancient One and his daring disciple approach the center of the gleaming orb, they behold the Book of the Vishanti, the hoary hosts of Hoggoth be praised. Now let Kalu steel himself, for we shall shake him or endure the worst. A special no prize to the first merry marcher who recognizes that pseudo-Shakespearean gem, Stan. But time grows short for, I sense that, even as I speak, our ruthless foe prepares to hurl a mighty spell at the candles which form our sole contact with the earth dimension. Return to your dwelling place at once, Dr. Strange, for the final encounter with Kalu. It shall be as you have commanded, venerated one, but what of yourself? Are you strong enough to travel the dimensional corridors? The mere presence of the consecrated volume of the Vishanti has heartened me, honoured disciple. But it is best that you resolve the struggle with Kalu without me. For one day you will face the mystic hordes of evil alone, and for that time you must ever prepare.
And now I return to my sanctum in Tibet, there to wait in silent, watchful contemplation for the outcome of the approaching battle.
I shall do my best to be worthy of your trust, sire. Kalu must be halted before he bends the entire world, even the universe itself, to his corrupt will.
The decision to return to the present is made not a moment too soon, for, at that self-same instant, in the 20th century domicile of Dr. Strange.
And now my mystic bolt shall snuff out the lives of those accursed candles, and of my elusive foes as well. In the name of Satanish the Supreme, I command yon flickering flames to die. But instead, to Kalu's amazement, the candles are not extinguished. Indeed, one flares up as if to engulf this very chamber. What sorcery is this? The next second, amidst cascading tongues of crimson fire, a figure of regal bearing suddenly appears. The powers which you learned during your years of exile have made you overbold, Kalu, to seek to quench the unfaltering flames of the Faltine. Dr. Strange, you dare to return? The need for flight is past, brazen one. Now must be the time of the final reckoning. Prepare for battle. He holds the sacred book of the Vishanti. I was a fool not to realize that it was the object of their quest in time. But having fathomed all the secrets written in its hallowed pages, I can hurl a spell for which even they reveal no defense. You have returned to meet your doom, Dr. Strange. And after you fall, it shall seek out the Ancient One to fulfill my revenge.
Then, even as his demonic adversary casts his mightiest spell, the master of the mystic arts shields himself with the sacred tome he has retrieved from the shades of time.
May the omnipotent Oshtur protect me, if what the Ancient One told me of this volume was in error. For, even though it has not yet struck, I can feel the senses' staggering force of his evil sorcery. Now, by the power of Amtor, the unspeakable, whose true name is known only in the place which is not a place, I command that you be frozen in a state of suspended animation forever. But a mere heartbeat later, as the twin bolts of titanic power strike the ornate cover of the enchanted book. Ah, my own spell is being hurled back at me, and I have no protection against it. It is as my mentor predicted. The final, the ultimate defense is the book of the Vishanti itself. The fate which Kalu planned for me is now his own. Thus ends Kalu's ill-starred quest for vengeance against one who halted his mad quest for conquest 5 centuries ago. Now he is helpless and snared by a spell which no man living can dispel. He is completely at my mercy. And yet, it is not for me to say what is to be done with his transfixed, unmoving form. For the Ancient One is he who first opposed Kalu, and to him must belong the fruits of my victory. May the shades of the seraphim carry my thoughts to my all-seeing master, that he may pronounce the final sentence upon Kalu. You read all about it in Strange Tales number 148. We hope, Sensitive Stan. Almost instantaneously, in a somber sanctuary in the heart of the Tibetan Himalayas, the sorcerer's call is answered. You have done well, my son, truly. My long hours of teaching have not been in vain. You have saved both ourselves and the world from the tentacles of one man's insatiable ambition. Now to deal with Kalu. And the next second, a beam of transcendent light circles the globe, passing between the stark mountains of Asia and the gleaming towers of New York in the space of a single heartbeat, hurling the immobile body and spirit of the conquered wizard into the depths of limbo till the end of time. It is done. With the banishment of Kalu, an unsuspecting world may once again breathe more freely. Or at least till we decide what to do with him. Sneaky Stan. Yet, even as the Ancient One speaks these ringing words in the dark dimension once ruled by the dread Dormammu, an entire cosmos trembles before an unreasoning, irresistible fury as the fearful cry is heard. The mindless ones are attacking. While in that same plane of timeless space, the beauteous Claire perceives the reason for their fierce assault. Since the destruction of Dormammu, there exists no one who can restrain the awesome power of the mindless ones. They have broken through his invisible barrier, and now our entire universe lies open to them. He went out with a bang in Ish number 146, remember? My sole hope is to contact the great sorcerer, Dr. Strange, he whose image is ever in my heart. Perhaps he will be able to halt their senseless rampage. By the wondrous wand of Watum, some great psychic. Force keeps his image nebulous, unclear. What can it be? And, as the silver-haired girl tries in vain to contact him, whose life she once saved, the mindless ones, freed at last from their imprisonment by the vanquished Dormammu, continue their aimless yet irresistible onslaught. Then, in the very midst of the teeming, tempestuous hordes, the atmosphere itself seems suddenly to throb with pulsating light. As winding, swirling mists congeal to form a human figure. By the matchless power of the omnipotent Oshtur, I command you to cease your senseless rage. Thus speaks Umar. The next instant, there materializes the form of a raven-tressed female, one radiant with the beauty of youth, yet emitting an aura of evil which is ageless, so even in your purposeless wrath, you recognize the power of the sister of the dread Dormammu. Once, my baneful brother alone possessed the power to hold you at bay. But with his destruction, the mantle of his supremacy has passed to me. Now, begone back to your world of fierce silence. And, with grim, uncomprehending reluctance, the mindless ones recoil, then slink sullenly back through the invisible barrier erected eons before. Go until I once more have need of you. In time past, my brother feared my power, and therefore tricked and imprisoned me in the void between the worlds. But now he is gone, and I am free. And soon the infamous deeds of the dread Dormammu shall pall beside those of Umar the Unrelenting. Next ish. Umar strikes.
Next issue. Strange Tales.
Number 151.